I want you to picture an immensely skilled racing driver, one that is widely considered to be one of the best in his class. He has gone through tough times, of course, notably with Honda-powered cars, but has bounced back since then. This driver started their top-level career with a backmarker team and made his way through the ranks to a legendary team on sheer merit and skill. This driver has competed in multiple Indy 500 races. This driver has proven that they are multi-disciplined, winning races in completely different series. This driver has 2 championships and one of, if not the most competitive racing series in the world, along with 3 second-place championship finishes in that series. This driver has been chasing a 3rd title for years, but has always come up short for one reason or another. This driver, of course, is Josef Newgarden.
Josef Newgarden has done it at Road America! What a drive! That's $1 million drive! Up and pay respects to this man, the king of corn country! Josef Newgarden wins the weekend! But here we go, and it's on again. 1, 2, 3 teammates and Newgarden on the inside! He grabs second, he grabs the lead!
Josef Newgarden began his racing career where most single-seater drivers do, in karts. He was an instant success, pulling in 4 championships in 2 years, 2005 and 2006. He was quickly bumped up to cars in the regional Skip Barber Racing School Series in late 2006 and moved on to the National Series in 2007 and 2008, where he finished 6th and 2nd respectively, winning multiple races each year. In 2008, Newgarden received a scholarship to race for Team USA alongside fellow future IndyCar prospect Connor Daly in the Formula Ford Festival and the Kent Series. He earned pole position in his first heat race, where he finished P4, and moved on to the semifinal, which he promptly won, earning pole position for the final. He then went on to win the final and became the first and to this day only American driver to win the 3-day Formula Ford Festival Championship. After his impressive results, he was invited to take part in the inaugural season of the GP3 series in 2010 with Carlin Motorsport. This stint in Europe proved to be Josef's largest challenge yet, and it did not go well. He struggled with the car throughout the season, with only 4 top 10 results in 16 races. His biggest highlights were a pole position in Hockenheim, which he only converted to a P18, and a 5th place finish in the season finale at Monza. After the horrible season he had in Europe, he decided to pack his bags and head home, where he found a spot on the Indy Lights grid with Sam Schmidt Motorsports. This is where the legend of Josef Newgarden begins. Josef's first Indy Lights race was a tough one. St. Pete is a tight street circuit with lots of bumps and sharp corners. Newgarden bested the field after a fantastic start and won his first ever race in an Indy Lights car. Some may have called it beginner's luck, but he shut that notion down in the 2011 season with win after win after win after win. In the 11th race of the season at New Hampshire, he lapped the entire field before winning that race, becoming the first driver to do so in Indy Lights since 2004, and giving the world a glimpse into the future, where he's earned a reputation as an oval specialist. All told, Josef won 5 races during the 2011 Indy Lights season, and the IndyCar paddock didn't need any more convincing. He signed with Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing to pilot the number 67 car for the 2012 IndyCar season. Josef's first season in IndyCar went as well as a rookie could hope for. He finished 23rd overall that year, but put up some solid top 15 results. It wasn't flashy, but it was enough to get him re-signed for the 2013 season. This is where he started to break into the sport and prove he belonged there. At the 2013 Indy Grand Prix of Alabama, he scored his first top 10 finish, coming home P9 at the end of the race. He followed that up 2 races later in Sao Paulo, finishing 5th. In his second year in IndyCar, Josef was now at the sharp end of the grid, fighting for podiums in one of, if not the most competitive racing series in the world. He continued to bring home solid results that year, and it only got better from there. The Grand Prix of Baltimore is another tough, bumpy street circuit which generates lots of crashes, cautions, and restarts. Josef drove brilliantly throughout the race, staying out of trouble, avoiding several major accidents, and managed to put his car in the right places at the right times to score his first podium in the IndyCar series. He finished second in the race, only seconds behind Simon Pagenaud. Newgarden showed the world that he was special. In only his second season, he was bringing home hardware. He finished the season in 14th place in the championship and would only climb further up the ranks in the years to come. As a result of his increasing success, Newgarden was signed by Team Penske for the 2017 season. He had found his new home on one of the most legendary teams in IndyCar history. This team knows how to win, and they expect the best from their drivers. Newgarden earned his spot on that team and was up for the challenge. Newgarden settled into his first season with Penske, winning the third race of the season in Alabama. He hovered around 10th for the next 2 races and only managed 19th at the Indy 500 after getting caught up in a multi-car crash. After Indy, he turned on the afterburners, scoring 4th and 2nd in the next 2 races in Detroit. He grabbed another P2 at Road America, placing himself in 4th place and in distant championship contention. Josef never looked back, winning in Toronto. He then won the next race at Mid-Ohio, rocketing him to the top of the championship. He finished second at the next race in Pocono, extending his lead. He then won his 4th race of the season in St. Louis. There were only 2 races left, and Newgarden had a commanding lead. All he had to do was bring it home. It was a rainy day at Watkins Glen, and on a damp track, Newgarden was slotted to bring home solid points in the top 5. The race cycled several times with poorly timed cautions, but Josef maintained his position near the front of the field. With 15 laps to go, Newgarden pitted for tires and fuel, along with his teammate, Will Power. They exited their pit boxes simultaneously, and it was a drag race to the pit exit to see which driver would come out in front. Power beat Newgarden to the line and cut across the front of his car. This took away all of Newgarden's downforce into a tricky pit exit, where he got overzealous and understeered into the pit exit wall. He was then hit from behind by Sebastian Bourdais, and the contact destroyed Josef's rear wing, forcing him to take another long pit stop. This dropped Newgarden all the way down to 18th, where he finished the race. The season finale at Sonoma offered double points, meaning it was mathematically possible for the top 7 drivers to win it all, with 103 points going to the race winner. Newgarden had to perform well to take home the trophy. The race was a good one, filled with risky pit strategies and hard wheel-to-wheel racing throughout the field. Ultimately, the last stint came down to a battle between Newgarden and Pagenaud for the race win. Josef fought Pagenaud for several laps, but eventually relented, as he knew he could win the championship with 2nd place. As the checkered flag fell, Pagenaud crossed the line first with Newgarden in tow, and Josef Newgarden had just won his first IndyCar championship, becoming the first American to do so since 2012. On that day, he added his name to a list of elite drivers and became the hometown hero. While he relished these moments with his team and his family, his career was far from over, and he was still hungry. Josef started the 2019 season strong, winning the first race at St. Pete and finishing 2nd, 4th, and 2nd in the next 3 races. He finished 4th at the Indy 500, bringing in a lot of championship points, as they were doubled for that race. He won his next outing in Detroit in the first race, but had a bad race the next day for the 2nd, finishing 19th. This didn't faze him. He bounced back with a win at the next race at Texas Motor Speedway. 3 races later, he won in Iowa. Newgarden was winning the championship with a 29-point margin to Alexander Rossi in 2nd place. Iowa was Josef's last win of the 2019 season, but he consistently scored enough points through the rest of the season to bring home championship number 2. With 2 championships and 3 runner-up spots under his belt, there was still one prize that had eluded him for so many years. The big one.
But Newgarden with a monster run off turn 2. Josef Newgarden has never won the Indianapolis 500, and he's ahead on this last lap. Josef Newgarden, is this the moment when the pain ends?
By one.
The drought isn't over for Josef Newgarden. On his Marcus Ericsson has something.
By 2.
Team Penske at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and Josef Newgarden finally wins the Indianapolis 500. It's the captain's 19th win. Newgarden's first.
After 12 years, he had finally slain the beast. Josef Newgarden won the 2023 Indy 500, barely holding first place from an attacking Marcus Ericsson. His nameplate is on the trophy. He drank the milk. He's won one part of the Triple Crown. After the 2023 IndyCar season wrapped up, he jumped into a GTP endurance car for the 2024 Rolex 24 at Daytona, along with Felipe Nasser, Matt Campbell, and Dane Cameron. After a grueling 24-hour race, Newgarden and his team crossed the line in first place. As of right now, Josef Newgarden will go down in racing history as an incredibly gifted driver. With more championships to his name, he will only further cement that status. Going into the 2024 season, the sky is the limit. He is hungry for a third title and is sure to be a championship contender. Where will he end up? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching.